Yeah? Your stomach growling? Yeah, that's what I want. Done with the job already? You guys never failed to impress.
Any other requests?
Technically, yes, but... I know it's not really my place to say this, but maybe you should take the rest of the day off. You've already done wonders for our city, and we're grateful for the help. The last thing we want is our heroes overworking themselves.
I'll drink to that. How about it, Id? First round's on me.
Sorry, but I think I'll pass.
Well, at least you let me down gently. The old you wouldn't have bothered with an apology at all.
I'll say, you started off at, like, thorny cactus. But now, you're more like brick wall.
Thanks, I guess. Being around the crew helps.
Look at that! You even learned humility! Now work on that smile, and you'll be 2 steps from Prince Charming in no time!
Uh-huh.
On the other hand, folks like the tall, dark, and silent type. Just keep up the good work. I'm sure this city will accept you as the new Mr. Fix-It in no time flat.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
What's happened?
Something urgent. I'll explain, but let me introduce you to the captain of Seed Hollow's forces. He heard rumors of your good work and traveled all this way to meet you. Says he's got an important mission.
First off, I'd like to thank all of you for saving Seed Hollow. And Id, I don't know if you remember, but we've actually met before. Or maybe I should say fought before, when you were still working for the ringleader of Avia.
I remember.
We promise it's changed now.
Don't worry. I've already heard about how he joined your crew and took down Lilith. I've also been informed that he's now helping rebuild our war-torn city. Or am I mistaken?
No. I'm committed.
I wish we had the luxury of time to explore your motives, but unfortunately, there's something I need to request of you.
Ask away.
I'm sure you're already acquainted with the new tower looming above Seed Hollow Castle. Thing is, the church is gone, but it's still there. We kept a close eye on it, and it seems to have lost all its power. It's just floating along, like a big rock in the sky.
That makes sense. There was a primal beast acting as its core, but it's no longer here.
Well, a few days ago, I figured it was safe enough to send soldiers in to investigate. We discovered a bunch of monsters shaped like shadow people. We cleaned most of them up ourselves, but there was one that was different.
Different how?
I'd never felt anything like it. We were overwhelmed by waves of dark energy. Our forces couldn't even get close. Luckily, it didn't seem keen on leaving the tower. But with a threat that big, it's better not to take chances. That's why I'm here.
Ready for some ghost busting?
Of course. Avia summoned that tower. So it's my responsibility to tear it down.
Thank you. I know this is a lot to ask, so I'm registering the mission with the Crew Alliance. You'll be fairly compensated for your service.
Hate to make you guys rush, but could you start heading out? Please? We need you.
that's useful. Oh.
Sometimes I wish we only took easy missions. No point complaining now, though.
Ugh, this place makes my scales stand up. Yeah. I don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Ugh! What are they? Are these supposed to be our shadow monsters?
Perhaps. But they're not our primary target. The soldier mentioned one exceptionally powerful shade.
Ready your weapons!
Thanks, Sid!
No thanks necessary.
Cool!
It's over!
They keep on appearing! Just how many are there?
Doesn't matter. We'll get them all.
Keep up!
Let's keep moving.
Ed, are you doing all right?
I am. This place just brings back memories. This was where Lilith...
I can only imagine how it must feel to be back.
I'm fine, really. Don't worry about me.
If you're sure.
We can never catch a break here. Luckiest Skyfarers in Zega Grande.
I don't want to be annoying. You sure you're okay?
I'll be fine. Not that that'll stop you getting two shoes from busting.
Got that right. You're one of us now.
Strikes are wide open!
On my way, let's go!
That wasn't just luck.
It was a pleasure. You said it.
Let's find them there. What's this?
It's over!
Try to heal up fast!
Get in a circle! You're the best! All together!
Following!
Heard ya! I'm ready! I finally matched your timing! Now you'll get it every time!
Don't mind if I do.
I sense something, but I can't put a finger on what.
This air is oddly stifling.
Hey, Glon! That looks like it!
It's like my shadow. What the hell is going on?
I don't understand either, but it doesn't look
Let's
open to
do this.
questions. Get ready for a fight!
Break the limit! Decimate! Thunder! Rain of
Come on!
You got it! I'll get him!
You again. It's over! What is this thing? Why does it look like me?
It might be part of the Pillar's defenses. Just like the shadow clone of Hurricane we fought here before.
Whatever it is, I'm taking it down. It has to be our mark.
Must be weird finding yourself, but we've got your back.
I like what I see.
Let's go, our best!
You're finished. Dead weight. Captain!
I'm ready! Tempest Blade! Ah! Heal! Yep! Shine as one! Prominence flare! Yes, we are! Well, we are!
Eat this! Understood.
Gathering its strength!
Decimate!
Hang on. They're gonna...
Just keep dodging. Can't attack forever.
You know best. Sheesh, it's just like when we fought you.
Try not to move your cup. You can't keep me down.
Like the right guy to rip off.
Tease me after we've killed it.
Still can't tell when you're getting a compliment, can you?
Here's our chance! We got it! Thanks!
Eat this!
Now's our chance!
You're finished! Copy the dragon's powers too!
It's using the same trick! We can get through this!
Quick! Rescue us! Great time!
Okay.
Roger that.
Though this thing still creeps me out.
Take this! True allies are priceless.
Seriously? Obviously. No thanks.
Enough of this! Perfect. Right. We'll take you down.
It's over! It's done. You okay, Ed?
Weirdly, I think I actually needed that. After going toe-to-toe with the dragon's destructive power, I swear I can tackle anything now.
I heard about your victory. On behalf of all the citizens of Seed Hollow, thank you. You've done our city a great service.
Always happy to lend a hand. You ever need help again? Know who to call.
Keep watching that tower, though. A creepy place like that makes a perfect lair for monsters.
We'll be sure to set a watch, and I'll personally inform you of any developments. Well, it's about time I went back to Seed Hollow. Thanks again, and take care.
You aren't going to arrest me?
Ed?
You're the local Mr. Fix-It. The city depends on you. Why would I take you into custody?
It's my past. Well,
It is true you were one of Lilith's accomplices. And while I am interested in hearing an insider's take on Obvious Crusades, now's not the time. After you complete a few more requests for us, why don't you invite me back to Volca as one of your loyal clients? Then we can have a chat over tea or something.
Thanks for understanding.
Least I could do for our heroes. Now I should probably get going.
You truly are something special. Even professional soldiers couldn't take down that monster.
fighting's about all I'm good for.
You need to stop putting yourself down like that. Hubris is bad, sure, but a little self-confidence never hurt anyone. You've improved the lives of the people in our city. That's something to be proud of.
But
Listen, I know you're new to this positive feedback thing, but just take the compliment, will ya?
I'm proud to be of service. But I'm still nothing like Roland.
You don't need to be like Roland. Just be the best version of yourself.
That's what Lyria keeps telling me.
Yep, you're your own person, Ed.
Okay, got it. Guess I'll give it a shot. Hey, you. Come back when there's more jobs.
Okay, why don't we try staying true to ourselves while working on our communication skills? Remember what we practiced, Ed?
Oh, right. Just leave it to Mr. Fix-It.
Oh, sweet! New jobs got added.
Nice. Can't wait to see what's available.
I smell a new... Listen, Daddies ain't got nothing on you.
Okay. Let's come back once we found a key. Let's see. Don't mind if I do. Huh. Not bad.
So then,
Let's kick some tail. Mission complete.
so then.
What can I do you for? One Skyfarer's trash isn't one sky. We have a wide selection of cities. Someone want to trade in their Dahlia badges? Level up! Now you can make even better sigils. How's that for service? Have vouchers? We'll transmute. Wonderful. Sending out the old crew signal, eh? Who should we vote?
Let us venture forth!
Don't be a stranger.
Got an order? What kind of weapons you need? What should I strengthen? Always aim for the top. Let's kick it up a notch. Don't forget about upkeep. Let's talk. Sigil enhancement? Got it. Your weapons won't betray you.
Ready for some action? Then easier than eating apples.
Let's see. Okay.
So then...
Nice.
Peace returned to Seed Hollow, and it was soon back to the usual hustle and bustle. I informed the frightened repairman of the girl's true identity, the primeval god of Seed Hollow.
A primeval god? Holy macaroni! That's a spicy nugget of news. How do you manage to stay so charming and informed? Hmm?
A lady never reveals her secrets.
It's a little sad that you couldn't meet Konohana Sakuya. I know you wanted to apologize to her.
I knew, somewhere deep down, that talking with her wouldn't bring back all the journeys I had with the captain's father. However, seeing all the blooming flowers across the city, it almost felt as if she was acknowledging me anyway. I may well have imagined it, but call it something of a mutual understanding between distant sisters. After the vibrant patchwork of spring began to spread throughout Seed Hollow, I made a habit of taking a daily stroll around the city. On one of my walks, I had mindlessly put the crystal fragment in my dress. After arriving at a particularly sunny spot, I took it out to admire it. Instead of my usual reflection, if not only for a brief second, I saw a smile that wasn't my own. A girl in a flower crown. Our eyes met for a second before, pop! A single rose had materialized at my feet. When I looked back into the fragment, she was nowhere to be seen. Although I can't prove it, I know that she was here, listening to me. So I whispered, "Beautiful. This city has blossomed under your care, all while blooming in your own right. You deserve to be here."
I trusted only my fists. If you wish to reach transcendence, you must beat out the path with your own knuckles. Which is why when my fists began to tremble in anticipation, I listened. It was as if they whispered, "A terrible future awaits these skies. Fail to act. An unprecedented calamity will befall you." How could they know? In truth, they knew more than most scholars, having experienced the rigors of fundamental aesthetic practice. I tempered them relentlessly, until they could foretell which timeline would lead them to the most strength. But you may ask, how far can one go with omnipotent fists? A foolish question. Only cowards measure progress in distance, in achievement. Blood boils through these fingers. That is all I need to know. Ah, I feel the fire raging inside. The storm has arrived, and I shall catch it with my bare hands. Divinity above, I wish you no ill will. but your defeat shall be evidence of my life's work. Thou recited. I ended the evening's meditation. Decades of such ascetic training had finally borne fruit. I had honed the Eternal Raid style to a godlike edge. But the long years had also revealed to me an enemy I could never defeat. Time itself. My inevitable demise meant there would be no more Eternal Raid style. I would need a disciple, someone worthy of inheriting my technique. Of course, coal is not transformed into diamond so easily. It would be a fool's errand to find a successor who could survive the necessary time and rigor. Thus, when I finally met the captain, I was happy to be that fool. Now I could pass on my legacy. But the captain had another goal in mind, to reach Estalucia and reunite with dear old Papa. Filial piety was a respectable tenet, but it was no god-shattering fist. Despite my pleas, I failed to convince the captain to become my pupil. However, something must have resonated with the young master, because I received an invitation to join the Grand Cypher's crew. If I could not produce a scion of eternal rage, at least I would gain new allies. Walking aboard the airship, my fists buzzed. Ah! So there would be something more to this meeting after all. Worthy Captain, I choose to fight by your side for the glory of the crew, for the glory of reaching Estalucia. And after we return, we shall discuss your future with the Eternal Raid style in earnest.
You heard all the stories about the old man, right?
I could hardly believe my ears. Ripping the Grim Basin apart with a single punch? Joining a war just so he could spar? And defeating both sides? Knocking over a whole mountain just from turning in his sleep? I call BS. And just like crap, there was probably a kernel of truth in there somewhere, but come on, who believes this stuff? Turns out, idiots like me. See, I've actually witnessed Gondagoza smash a meteor into space dust. You think people will catch on to that story, too?
Of course they will. Why else do people go to the pub? Man's favorite pastime is recounting tales of people braver than themselves.
But it's so hard to believe, and I saw him do the damn thing. So, yep, though the old master's legends were numerous, and honestly downright ridiculous, they were also the truth. What's crazier, Gonda would never toot his own horn. After crushing a dragon with a sneeze or what have you, he'd just say,
Ah.
Yep, actions speak louder than words. That's a real man's man for you. You gotta admire that. What I would give for his rippling biceps, though. Looking back now, none of us could have known. There, in the Zeka Grande Skydom, Gondagoza was about to use those rippling biceps to start a whole brand new mythos.
Sierra gave us the news. A lone brawler managed to stop a force of hundreds atop Mount Nagelith, all while quelling a raging blizzard with his bare hands? I'm not a betting man. Well, I'm not a drinking man, but, well, I'm not a man who bets when he drinks, but I'd put good money on our brawler being Gondagoza. It hadn't been that long since we sailed to Zeka Grande, so the old badger must have been working overtime for word to spread so quick. I asked Sierra to spill the details. The force he scattered was a group of soldiers, remnants of the Church of Avia, and word was they were specialists in guerrilla warfare. Sure as hell they were a fierce troop. How does an unarmed martial artist take them all out? Not that I could ask the master, because you know what he'd say. But hey, who needs words when you got those defined shoulder blades doing the talking? Guess it was just one more legend for the books.
Call for reinforcements! We need all the support we can get!
Why is everyone from that crew a beast? What are they feeding them on that ship?
It was a nightmare. Actually, worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality. We were being driven into the heart of Mount Nagelith by a single Skyfarer. Even though he was alone, he was with the crew who defeated General Galanza. Our only chance was to put aside our pride and work together to take him down. Our platoon was experienced, and we could launch the prototype Tayuatar if things started looking rough. We had numbers and strategy on our side. With all of our preparations, victory should have been assured. But he took one look at our perfect formations and laughed.
Ha 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 ha! You honor me with this extra training. Gandagoza shall now return the favor with eternal rage!
You what? This guy was nuts. All of these soldiers, and this was just a field exercise to him?
Get your asses in gear! Do not break ranks!
Command snapped my mind back into focus. I drew my sword, but as I clutched its hilt, they'd never been more sure it was just a hunk of scrap metal.
We walk the path of eternal rage.
Keep your distance, or you won't make it out of here alive.
Roger! Yeah! How will you train from so far away? The soul burns with fury.
Is this a joke to him? Who is this guy? Could be the devil himself for all I care. Back up. We can't take him on our own.
Step forward. I still need to finish my warm-up. My fists grow restless.
Curse on luck. He's leaving me with no option. Switch to Plan C.
Plan C? But sir, he doesn't even have armor on!
Just do it! Either we deploy our secret weapon, or he'll wipe us out!
The end, the soul burns with fury!
Go, Tayuatar! Deliver us from this accursed giant!
I applaud your desire to continue fighting, but you insult me with these useless toys!
It's over. He took out the Tayuatar.
Of course he did. I want all units deployed. Courage, troops! No one lives forever.
With these fists, nothing is impossible! I shall soar! Victory is mine!
He's a monster! Commander, your orders! Commander?
Reject impossibility!
It was a nightmare. Actually worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality.
Where are they? Bring me your champions!
We were an entire platoon of pilgrims. We even deployed the Tayuitar. He wasn't even inconvenienced.
Retreat! Retreat!
My mind was cloudy. I barely heard the commander's order. How could I think? I saw it. I saw the force of his punches redirect the blizzard. He had to be a demon. No mortal could beat the damn weather into submission. Not to mention the lack of corpses. This battle had been brutal, but so far no one had sustained critical injuries, which means he had been holding back. A man like this, he was as strong as General Galanza. No, stronger maybe. Finally, I gathered enough sense to unfreeze my feet and turn tail. As I ran away, I got the sense I had just witnessed history in the making.
Yeah? Come to view the requests?
I will fondly remember my splendid time atop Mount Nagelith. Deadly blizzard pummeling my flesh, freezing cold stabbing my lungs, and swarms of monsters looking to turn me into a long overdue meal. These were already the perfect conditions for training, but sweet, generous fortune had even more in store. I crested a snowy knoll. What should I see but the obvious crusaders setting up camp for their own war games? Follow the fist, or it shall lead to serendipity. Unfortunately, however, it seemed my newfound sparring partners were on a stricter schedule than I, as they took their leave before I could properly thank them.
Dandagoza, a letter came for you.
Now this was a rare occurrence.
It looks like it's from... Whoa, no way!
Her mouth was agape. I peered down to read why. From Galanza. The Silver Wolf Corps General. This would be intriguing.
To Master Gandagoza, distinguished practitioner of the Eternal Rage style. Thank you for meeting my strongest force on the field of battle. They spoke highly of your ferocity. In fact, some suggest you may be stronger than me, which is why I demand a duel. If you are not a coward, meet me in front of Tradam's sanctuary, atop Mount Nagelith. ASAP! I expect a deathmatch, as the skies have never seen before! Signed, the invincible and unparalleled General of the Silver Wolf Corps, Galanza!
Oh no, Mega Pops! You can't go alone! He's way too strong! Vern's right. Who knows what could happen during a fight with that man?
What loving kids to spare their thoughts for me! But Galanza was a man of unparalleled battle acumen. I could not pass on such an opportunity. Call myself the greatest fighter in all the skies. I must best the greatest fighters in all the skies. captain looked at me with trusting eyes, as if to say, "Go, noble warrior. This crew believes in the might of your god-shattering fists." Seeing the tacit acceptance of their commanding officer, Lyria and Vern finally relented, but they insisted on joining, in case the worst befell me. Their support was my tailwind. We left for the battlefield. Witness me, children. I shall fight the fight of rage!
I was half right. It was not Hans, but Ludwin himself who showed up at our doorstep.
I deciphered the record, and I know where the sword is buried.
He was so excited he completely forwent pleasantries.
I know I should go alone, with Hans, of course, but the tome says we must fly to Skyworm Valley, which is riddled with monsters. It's a terrible place for a lord to be made into dragon kibble.
I knew what he wanted me to say. Very well. Please, allow me to accompany you.
I mean, only if you wish.
This must have been the flaw Hans was alluding to. Ludwin was afraid of his own power. He dreaded the responsibilities that came with leadership. The Lords of Grossgard were not warriors and hadn't been for generations. They depended on their subjects for protection. But as I'd learned, Ludwin was loath to do so. Up until now, this has not posed a problem. Small skirmishes were all that troubled the peace of his dukedom. But what would happen should a great war march on his borders? Would his honor eventually spur him to the front lines? To death? The place of a lord and general is with the rear guard. There, they must order the battle and conduct diplomatic affairs. But it is hard, sitting and conversing in safety while your soldiers are risking their lives. As captain of the White Dragons, I knew this better than anyone. You feel as if every death is on your head. At last, I had come to fully understand Ludwin. If these trials, as Hans said, could help him come into his own, then I would do everything in my power to guide him to victory.
My dream is to become a hero. I know, kind of stupid, right? I get that you can't just snap your fingers and poof, you're in a cape with your first initial plastered over your chest. But let's face it, the world we live in could really use some heroes. It's like every day I come across some new sad story. Where's the harm in wishing for more sunshine? Anyways, I know heroes really do exist. I was saved by one. Well, saved might be an exaggeration, but I was a timid little squirt, and he was always there for me. He was just so darn cool. I wanted to be brave like him. I wanted to protect people like him. Eventually, my hero left our hometown to become a knight. If I was going to follow in his footsteps, and that meant I needed to take up the old helm and armor too. Wasn't sure if a weak crybaby like me would ever amount to much. But hey, whoever changed the future by getting hung up on the past? You probably already figured this out, but this hero I've been talking about? None other than my childhood friend, Lancey. And let me tell you, he's like something out of a fairy tale. Brave, smart, strong. Back in the day, all the grown-ups would call him a prodigy. If it wasn't for him, I might have never become the shining knight of Fiendrock that I am today. But man, do I still have a long way to go. I won't stop until I'm the best me I can possibly be. Here's a story from way before I became vice captain of the White Dragons. One day, I was waiting for Lancy at a harbor in Fiendrock. When hours passed and he still didn't show, I started to get nervous. The sound of the surf, which had been super calming until then, turned dark and whispery. Weird, but okay. Snooping around, I found out the true dragon Fafnir had returned. The royal powers that be were putting together a force to beat him. And of course, the person leading it was the captain of the White Dragons, Lancy. My best friend was about to march into the jaws of a literal fire-breathing lizard, and he was gonna do it without me. I couldn't let that happen. In a panic, I started back for the capital. So there I was, rushing along, worried half out of my mind, when I met the Grand Cypher's captain for the first time. Apparently, the crew was also headed for the capital of Fiendrock, so I told him to stick with me. More the merrier, right? Except, I wasn't exactly merry. And the captain could see that. Unable to stand it any longer, I spilled my heart out. I talked about the divide between me and Lancy. About how all I ever wanted was to be there for him, on and off the battlefield. But for every baby step forward I took, Lancy soared. I was weaker than him, ranked lower than him. I wasn't enough. And this whole Fafnir business had just driven everything home. Everyone had immediately gone to Lancy, asking him to lead the way, save the day. On the other hand, I didn't get so much as a backwards glance, so I was just some random foot soldier. What? I didn't get to whine when my best friend was out there risking his life. I needed to stop feeling sorry for myself and put in the work so I could start feeling proud instead. Lancy's a born fighter and a genius. He's also human. The pressure on him is crushing. I had to get strong enough to support him. Hearing this, the captain asked if I wanted to join the crew. Of course, I would never quit the White Dragons, but maybe a temporary change in direction was what I needed. I'd run myself into a rut. New scenery, fresh perspective, all part of a healthy breakfast for a growing boy like me. So I took the offer, determined to go back to the White Dragons bigger and better than ever. But I digress. Back to the Fafnir problem. All you really need to know is, it spiraled way out of control. The fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance kind of stuff. Thanks to Lancy and the captain, Fiendrock managed to find its way back to normalcy. And me? I'd been changed forever. Though we'd been fighting a dragon, I ended up learning a lot about people. Their strengths, weaknesses, what scared us, made us tick. Had some people pass out of my life and others come into it. My eyes were open to a lot of things, and not all of it pretty. But I'll take it. Because it's the sum of our experiences, the good and the bad, that make us who we are. Fast forward in time, and bam! Your boy Vane's vice captain of the White Dragons. Took big dreaming, a lot of hard work, and a hefty helping of best friend anxiety, but I got there. Now, don't get me wrong, rank, titles, all that stuff's just words, you know? What kid doesn't like getting a gold star? And this was a big, shiny gold star that said, "Congratulations, you're on your way to becoming a hero." Plus, now I got to be part of all the important security meetings. If Lancy needed help, I'd be the first to know. For once, I was feeling pretty confident in myself. Vice captains have it tough, but I was more than happy to do the work. It wasn't all smooth sailing, though. After a few months, some nasty rumors began circulating through the barracks. People were saying I got my job through nepotism, just because I was friends with Lancey. It was kind of a dark time. I've been trying to come up with things that I accomplished when I realized there were none. At least, nothing that I'd accomplished on my own. This whole time, I'd just been riding on other people's coattails. The captain, as always, lent me a shoulder to cry on, and we agreed to meet up again in a few days. But when the time came, two, burlier figures were standing beside the captain, Siegfried and Percival. They were there to spar with me and judge, once and for all, if I deserved to be vice captain of the White Dragons. I definitely teared up a little. These were two of the people I looked up to most in the world. They could take whatever I threw at them. My hopes, my insecurities, lessons I learned. I put everything I had into that battle. And in return, Siegfried and Percival gave me everything they had. Fighting the two of them was as intense as you'd expect.